For our 8th year, a Petrified Forest is back. Voted 2014 King of Halloween. Petrified. Every weekend in October. Visit our website for dates, times, and tickets.
And it is 8 o'clock, so we are live here with HauntScene Radio. My name is Johnny Bronto, and joined with me this week is going to be the lovely and talented...
Is that me? Are you talking to me? We have two other people today. So.
All right, you're both lovely and talented, but my normal co-host, Miss Social Media, Queen, Princess Courtney, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Tuesday night.
Queen.
Yes,
good.
Red carpet. Good. How are you?
Also joined with me this week is Hannah. Hannah actually joined us for the haunts that we did last weekend, because we did not only one, but two haunts last weekend. We did a Petrified Forest.
We did.
And then we did a haunting in Old Town. So this episode... we have an absolute, menage a trois of haunt information.
Oh my
god.
I've been waiting always to say that.
Hannah's already kind of part of the HauntScene team. She doesn't haunt as much as us, but you've seen her every
floating
week.
arm that hands drinks.
Mystery hand that brings me she's my bartender. She is my masseuse. She has a lot of roles to keep this thing running. So it's only appropriate.
Do I reap the benefits of this? Is she's a part of HauntScene?
No.
All I do is show up, drive, and run the show. That's all I'm good for, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Need we say more?
Oh, man, that's so sad. All right.
We're feminists. No, we're not. Don't associate us with the feminist movement. I mean, sorry.
Whoa. All right, so last Saturday, and to be honest, I look at the calendar now, we are running a little bit low on time, which is very sad. We're in the last third of the haunt season, unfortunately.
I actually only have 2 nights left. Pretty sure.
That is very sad.
It's my fault.
That is very sad, but it's okay. We're gonna get through it.
I don't know. November's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it is gonna be rough. I am actually looking really forward to the drunk edition that we're gonna have, which will be a bonus episode after our official season finale, which is coming up.
Post-haunt woes, we will drown our sorrows.
We have to invent a haunt drinking game of some sort. And
people can play along with us. Yeah. We'll all be experiencing the same feels. It'll be a good kumbaya moment.
I'll drink Long Island iced teas and I'll start crying. So that'll be everybody has that one drink that makes them really emotional. Mine happens to be Long Island iced teas. So that's why I don't drink them normal. All right, so let's get to the subject at hand. Now we've been doing horror nights pretty regularly, but we've been also venturing out on Saturdays to do some independent haunts, some outside theme park haunts, and we've hit pretty much all the major points at this time. We hit Screamageddon, we hit the Shallow Grave. And this last weekend, we hit a Petrified Forest first. Now, Petrified Forest, if you just go to petrifiedforest.com, you'll have all the information there, directions, hours, prices. It wasn't that bad. I think it's like $20-30. And they have 2 haunts there. And I honestly, I don't know enough about the haunt to know if they redo it every year, if they start over. This year it had 2 haunts. One was called Ghost Ship. The other one was the Loading Docks. They had this kind of like pirate, underwater, evil stuff theme. It was very mishmash and really cool. Hannah, for the first time, was able to join us on one of these independent haunts. So we all met up there.
Yeah, unfortunately, she usually works on Saturdays, so she can't come down on the weekends with me. But this weekend, I talked her into it because she hears about all our adventures, and so.
I do.
We had some adventures. Okay, so we did a Petrified Forest. All right, we did a Petrified Forest first, and then after we got done with the Petrified Forest, we got a couple photos here and there. We did venture to Old Town and in Kissimmee, Florida, right outside of Disney, and we did the Legends Haunting at Old Town, and we'll get to that in a bit. So let's start off with a Petrified Forest. Now, we have our discussion screen up, so basically whenever we're just talking, we're just going to kind of leave this up here. This is basically for my own thing, because I remember last week when we were talking about Screamageddon, we were just looking at like the picture of Dade City for like 10 minutes. So we want to do that. So let's go ahead and go into the slideshow here. And we have the first thing that you're going to notice when you park. Now, parking is free, but it's basically like get there early. Get there.
Yeah.
We got there on 8 o'clock.
On the website, there's like a parking warning, and it says they don't have a lot. But they sort of have this agreement with other local businesses that will let people park there. So they had signs when we got there with arrows pointing, and it wasn't hard to figure out where to go. But it definitely, where we had to walk from, it was a little like jagged, dirty. So just be ready for that, or get there early. Yeah, be one of the first people there.
Or
wear tennis shoes.
Or wear tennis shoes.
And definitely wear tennis shoes.
Definitely wear tennis shoes, actually, because my feet were so dirty by the end of the night.
You had graveyard feet.
I had graveyard feet.
Apparently.
Which sometimes is cool, but not when I'm not prepared.
Right. So Courtney didn't learn her lesson from last week when we were at Screamageddon, so she still
I can't
wore
afford
flip-flops.
new shoes, man.
Right. So we did a Petrified Forest. Now, it's exit 92 on I-4. You go into Altamont, you go past the mall. It'll be on your right if you make a right off the freeway when you're coming east. If you're coming west, you actually make a left on the freeway. I didn't bring up a map this week because I couldn't actually make it look right. So you can get the information on the website. Now, the first thing you're going to notice here is when you walk in, they have a hearse. Hearse has the Petrified Forest logo. I could swear I've seen this at like a con or something before. So I've seen this thing around, but haunts and hearses go together pretty well. So that was pretty neat. I haven't really seen it driving around though. So that's the first thing you're going to see. And we had pre-bought our tickets, which is strongly recommended because the line to actually buy tickets at that point when we walked up, it is a little bit after 8, like 8:15 or so. The actual line to buy tickets was getting a little crazy.
It's pretty lengthy.
Yeah. So pre-buy your tickets. That's definitely a tip for Petrified Forest. As you walk in, and this is something I took afterwards, but it's makes more sense now, is the color wheel system. So you walk into the haunt, you give them your tickets, they scan them, they give you like a hard ticket. We bought both trails, so they give you like a little color ticket, and ours was blue. And when you walk in,
it wasn't one for everyone. You get one ticket for your party. So whoever has your one ticket better hold on to it, because I definitely would have lost it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess it's good that I had it then. So we get our blue ticket, and when we walk in, they have these color wheels in front of both queues. And the way the queue works is you just kind of hang out like in the middle, and when the color wheel turns your color and it goes clockwise. No, it goes counterclockwise. I don't remember. But when
she didn't know either.
When it gets on your color, you can then enter the line. So you don't have to wait in line. You actually can just hang out. They have a place to get drinks. They had live music, which is pretty neat. We got some pictures of that. And then at that point, once they call your color, that's when you can get in line. So
yeah,
that's the
we're
first
not
thing.
talking. I wouldn't say it's like a fun place to hang out though.
Hey!
There's not a lot. There were a couple like sort of carnival style booths with like the carnival food like we talked about with Screamageddon.
Mhm.
But it was sort of just very dark and crowded in it like a wooded area, and it was teenager central. I mean, it was a nice touch to have the live music, but if you had to wait a long time for your color, you might need to bring some things to entertain yourself.
Yeah. They have various passes, like a backstage pass, and I think they have a pass where you can
Oh.
actually be a character
Wow.
and stuff.
That's right. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. So we didn't wait long. I think it was on like green or something, and then it was like 2 colors later we were up. So we weren't waiting forever, but there was a little bit of confusion like when we first walked in, like what do we do? Do we just get in line or do we hang out? Or
You and I, we're not really like haunt pros, but we do a lot of haunts, so we've been doing them each weekend. And so for us to show up here and still be extremely confused about what to do and how to even get in line, that was a little, I wouldn't say disappointing. Just I think maybe there should be more signs. I think the system works. There
this sign
needs to be
is
more instruction.
actually on the outside of the event. So as you walk up to buy tickets, it's there.
We missed that.
Now, I did ask the person manning the wheel about it, and maybe I asked too many questions. She was getting a little snappy with me, but I just wanted to understand. I was like,
too impatient.
I'm not okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure we're in the right place.
Excited.
I was excited.
Yeah. But you didn't just ask questions. You told her to move the wheel to our color, which is a no-no.
I did not tell her to move the wheel. I asked her if the wheel went clockwise or counterclockwise. Because if it was clockwise,
you said she should turn it to blue next. And she said no.
I may have inferred that. Okay.
Your fault.
She's lucky I didn't pull out a business card and be like, "Don't you know who I am?" No,
oh yeah.
that would work. Although I did have the hat on, so yeah.
You did have the hat on, yeah.
I did, and she
didn't care at all.
If it was Bay News 9, we would have just walked right through.
Bay News 9, right?
That's a running bit on our show now. Bay News 9. Sorry, Bay News 9. So now the sad part is when we actually walked up, all of the instructions you need are actually right on this picture. So I guess maybe this has been a common theme for me, but I need to read the instructions more.
Oh, really?
Hey, look, you guys were there. You guys knew the instructions. Why am I in charge of everything? I'm a bad person.
You were the one that walked in first, and the ops member told you instructions while I was still doing something else, so I missed it. I was counting on you as my leader.
Oh, whatever.
I was the guest star again.
Yeah. So, Courtney, you're looking a little blurry there. I think your internet's, it's okay. It'll come back. All right, so look at the sign when you first walk in. It's on the fence right before the ticket booth after you buy tickets online. Strongly recommended. Parking is free. They have they have a couple different things you can buy. So when you go there, definitely look at the website to get all of the information that you need. Next, when we moved on to the next section, here's an example of the color wheel for Ghost Ship. Now, this is what it was when it was on yellow when we first went in. This is the next queue up, which was green. And it looked black in the nighttime, but that actual next color going clockwise.
Yeah, it didn't even look like there was a blue. I thought they were
hold on a second. Hold on. Look,
you guys said purple.
Look. This picture right here says the color wheel goes clockwise. But when they turned it, they were actually moving it counterclockwise. So you know what? So you know
Petrified Forest. All right. Instructions. That's what we need to work on.
Yeah. So and the thing is the color wheel is turned. The queue works based on the wait time, which how many people are in line. But they don't have like a guesstimation as to how long that is. So I don't really know how that works. That's I'm not. We're gonna get into the good stuff, but that's something that they've been doing this a couple of years and. There's got to be a better way than color wheel, but I'm gonna leave that as is. I would rather take a number than this thing, but yeah. All right, so we get through the color wheel stuff, and at this point we're just kind of hanging out. We're hanging out, listening to the sounds of Bothering Dennis, which is a local.
Oh, is that what they were called?
Band. They were called Bothering Dennis. Yes, I made sure to take a picture
pretty
here.
Good.
Yeah, they were a cover band. I think they
They
played
had charm.
They played Green Day and I think like Fall
They
Out
had a
Boy.
good energy. They tried their it was a lot of
Yeah.
teeny bopper like woo music.
The,
I don't know, but
Teenage. It was
Yeah.
teenage.
I don't know. I don't.
Teenage indie.
Not up with the hype.
Lots of skinny
But,
jeans going on. I
Lots
mean,
of
that's
skinny
cool.
jeans. But
Very
they did their
interactive
best.
with the crowd.
They really
They
tried
were,
to entertain.
Yeah, they were definitely entertaining. I'm not gonna rip on them. They were fun. As a matter of fact, what was cool is they actually had one of the characters walking around, and let me bring him up. They had a guy on stilts, and it's this little tree Groot-looking guy with red eyes.
Groot.
And he was like dancing and stuff with the music, which is actually
He
pretty
really
neat.
was.
Because normally you don't
And
see like the
he was
characters.
doing the Shia LaBeouf move too. The he
Do
was all
it!
that. Yeah.
He had rhythm. He really did.
Do it.
job.
Okay. But once again, because this is my favorite thing to do with the image slideshow, is I can move him back and forth and he's dancing. So you guys can't see that right now, but he's dancing.
my god.
I know you're a fan of that. All
It's
right, I'm
fun.
glad.
He's so
We've
proud.
made
He's
that
so
fit in
proud.
this show. I'm glad.
All right, don't hate. All right, so we go through, we look at, I mean, we were there for the better part of, I think, an hour before we got into the first house. We decided to do Ghost Ship because we were told that the line was a little bit
Yeah.
shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically how it worked, once you got to your color, you could get in line for one of the houses. And if you had a ticket for both houses, then once you got through the first one, whichever one you chose, you would directly be put into the express lane for the next one. So you did only have to wait for your color and then only stand in one real line.
That was
But
cool.
still, that was still very confusing.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I would have had
Yeah.
to start over again, like if I had to wait for that color wheel to go all the way around again,
Oh,
no, it wouldn't be worth
just
it for
now.
me.
yeah.
I couldn't. Mm-mm.
So this is the queue. Now we're just gonna kind of talk about the queues ahead of time. Really, the outside of the ghost ship is like a picture of a. It's not a picture. It's actual like a ship, and it has like a little moat in front of it. It's neat to look at. The
It
second,
was cute.
The second
Yeah, it
one,
was
which
cute.
was the loading dock. You see these little numbered
ship.
doors here. They actually put you in these little like loading slots, and then they push you in. So that was kind of.
I was freaked out about this. I was like, where are they going to let us out? Do we only go out one by one? Am I going to lose you? What's going to happen?
Really, it split up right away.
It's a weird way to go into a house.
Yeah, it was pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
interesting.
And props to the guys who have to push that thing
Yeah,
back and forth all
definitely.
night long.
Right. And
full-
it
full of
goes
people.
for like
It
20
was pretty
feet or so.
fast.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
way further than we thought it would go too.
So that's how you get out of the hunt. Now this is the one that we actually did second, the loading dock. So we did
Yeah.
we actually did the ghost ship first. So I'm gonna turn this. There we go, ghost ship. Okay, we didn't really get any pictures. Obviously, we weren't inside the house and it was already dark out. But as you walk in, I'll go ahead and ask
Take a
you guys,
photo.
what was your initial impressions of the ghost ship, which was the first house that we did?
I'll let Hannah go first.
Oh no. Well, I was surprised that like you walk in and immediately like you pose for a picture. Like I thought that was interesting. Like I guess ones I've experienced, the picture usually comes after or like in the middle of something like really scary.
Yeah, that was weird. As soon as with both of the houses, when we walked in, they would have like an actor that had makeup on, but they just talked to us normally, and they were like, "All right, stand here. We're gonna take your photo."
Well, the weird thing about that though is we went.
I was
Go ahead. We went
No, I
through-
was just saying I always missed where the photo was because it was so random.
right.
That's true. Even when they stood us there, we couldn't tell where the camera was, so we were still and we ended up never even seeing our photos at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know what they looked like, but that's how they started us off.
Well, the weird thing about the photo was, and I noticed this, is we went through with like other random folks, and they were including the random folks in like our picture.
yeah,
And
it was just the whole
and
group.
They thought that they actually thought that they were going to take separate pictures for groups. It's like, all right, your picture's done, and then move on. And they're like, what? So
Yeah.
maybe they bought a picture of us smiling and them going,
Someone has us in their family memory from a Petrified forest.
Prom pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did a prom pose. You're welcome.
whoever you are welcome. Okay. So then we actually delve into the house. And I gotta admit, it was really fun. It was really fun, but it was kind of a blur. Like, it was like, there isn't any, like, specific things that really jump out at me. It was just a good time. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it was hard, I think, in both of these to tell exactly what the story was. Obviously, we knew ship underwater, stuff like that, pirates. But it didn't seem like there was a real, we talk about flow a lot. We like houses to flow well and make sense.
Mhm.
And this one, I didn't really get that, but it was all underwater themed, and there were some cool effects. Like there was one spot with lasers, and it looked like you were really going underwater. Like if they had this effect in Freddy vs. Jason at Horror Nights this year, where you're supposed to be underwater, I think it would be way cooler, way more believable. And they had people crawling underneath, so you could just see the top of their heads, and it looked like alligators swimming in water. Like it was really, really cool.
Okay, well, you saw them coming because they jumped out at me and scared the out of me, and
it was terrifying.
Like we walk in this one room, and it's just like a fog and lasers shooting across the fog. So it was about knee high, you say? No, maybe about waist high. And you're walking through it, and I was like, I walked in, I was like, I know it's coming.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was just somebody who was crawling underneath,
two of
and
them,
they jump out at you.
There
was one
terrifying
behind you, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I think right after the room where we went underwater, there was the next room was sand. Like we were on a beach. Mm-hmm. Or something like that. I know there were rooms with actual sand. It was pretty cool. I liked a lot of it.
Yeah, it was. It took a moment to adjust. I mean, when we do a haunt that we've never done before, you have to kind of mentally adjust to where you're at, and it was fun. So I remember they had like they had the water thing. They had some like crab guy come out at you.
There was a crab guy.
They had an octopus.
Octopus, yeah. But to be in the middle of a forest in Florida and feel like you're underwater and on a beach, I think they did a really good job pulling that off.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was really, really neat. Now, I'm not sure how this works, but there were obviously characters in the house, and there were a good number of them. I mean, you couldn't go more than 15, 20 feet without somebody jumping out at you or whatever.
Yeah.
Of varying dress and costume,
and ages. There were children.
Ages.
Yeah.
Well,
there were children in there.
See, the thing is with that is, I think if you pay for like a certain type of backstage tour, you can actually be a character. Mm-hmm. So I think like some of the kids and some of the people that were like more plain costumed were perhaps. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, they did great. They've got a future in scare acting because they freaked me out.
So that was a neat mechanic to it. I mean, I've always wanted to be a character just for like one night.
Just for like a night.
Yeah. The thing is they have all these openings for characters all over the place. Like even like the Shallow Grave. It's like, hey, but you have to like work all the nights, man. I would love to just be like a character for night and be like. Buy me food or something.
Or like
I don't know.
one night every weekend and get to do a different character each week. That'd be pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Maybe we try to set something up next year. So that was kind of neat. Do you remember anything about the other one? I remember there were a lot of lasers. There was some pretty good fog effects when you go in. They got me probably a good solid 3 or 4 times in the first one, which is pretty impressive. I mean, I mean, I was in front, so they got me.
Yeah, I mean, they had some surprising scares. They had some big sets. There were times where there would be someone behind walls and they would be sticking out like fake hands to get you, or even near your feet and stuff like that.
I remember one of us got groped.
Yeah, from a hand coming out of the wall, and you would never expect it. So
never. I screamed.
That was kind of cool too.
I was shocked.
So
I think all of us got good scares in this one.
Yeah, all of us got good scares in that. It was fun. It was fun. It was a good time. It's hard to describe. Like I'm struggling to put this into words. Like it was good, but it's something I guess it's better to experience it. I mean, it's not like it's expensive or anything. Definitely, if you live in the Altamont area, go and check it out because it's really cool.
Yeah,
or even Orlando. It wasn't that far of a drive,
Not far at all.
If you like haunts and you just want to do something different than the theme park haunt for a night, totally.
Well, do the Shallow Grave first, and then do a Petrified Forest. Sorry. Let's get that clear. Not that the Petrified Forest was bad, but if you really want, if you only can go to one haunt that's not a theme park, Shallow Grave. Sorry.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. All right.
I feel like I missed out.
You did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Damn.
We gotta take her to the Shallow Grave.
We
got
will.
2 weeks.
Next week. We're going back?
Yeah.
We're going to go back to Shallow Grave?
Are we? Can we? Can we go?
Can we go? Yes.
Shallow Grave, take us. Come get us.
I'm
Field
gonna.
trip.
We still have to talk about how we're gonna wrap up this season because there are some other things in play as well.
Yeah, we have a couple episodes left, so we're trying to figure out exactly what we're gonna bring.
So comments coming in. Let's see. Shades of Netherworld and 13th Gate. Those are some other haunts. I know Netherworld's in the Atlanta area. I'm not really sure where the 13th Gate is. Netherworld, tomato. Sorry, I don't know, man. It's not like when somebody types it out, they put the like
The Netherlands, the Netherworld. Like, what have you heard? Netherworld.
Dude, okay,
Neither.
I played Dungeons and Dragons, or I used to play Dungeons and Dragons. Neither. Okay.
Okay,
Whatever.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong.
Don't hate. All right.
Someone tell me I'm right.
All right, so after Ghost Ship, we went through and we did the other haunt, which was the loading dock. And I have a picture, once again, of the loading dock here. They put you in these little, kind of like, they remind me like the racehorse gates, or like they're all numbered. They put you in. I was put in by myself. Hannah and Courtney were put in together. They were shut in.
Yeah, the numbers 1 through 4 were tiny for individuals, and then number 5 you could put 2 people in, I guess, in case anyone was freaking out or needed extra space. So luckily we got paired together because I really didn't want to get separated.
Yeah, and then you have that kind of like what am I about to get into, because I would assume that if you're separated here, they would be, maybe you'd have like a different entrance or whatever. But no, when you get off this thing, you're in there, and it's
right out, and then it's photo time.
And watch yourself, because it's it's like a 1.5-foot drop. I mean,
it's really dark. It's really dark. They have like one person there trying to help people get out, but I had some issues.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Then it's photo time. Second photo time around was when we were with the other people, and they're like, "All right, guys, sit for your photo," and we're like, and then the other people are just kind of standing around, and they're like, "All right, photo's done, later." So they got the worst photo ever. I will admit, out of the two of them, I think I like this one a little bit more because I actually remember specific things of this one. Which
I remember more of Ghost Ship.
Oh, really? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm
remember them
trying
both.
to rack my brain real hard right now, and I don't remember anything about Loading Dock. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, all right. Well, let's see if we can jog the memory here. So when we went in, we walk in there. They did have different pathways. At one point, we walked through a bus. You actually get on a bus and walk through the back. I'm a fan of the bus stuff. Like walking through a bus.
There was a school bus at
Yeah.
Screamageddon too. We forgot to mention that on last week's show, but you did. You walked straight through a school bus.
I think
pretty
we did
cool because
talk
they can
about that
find them in
Screamageddon.
any of the.
And it was infected in last week. Yeah. So it was neat. Characters, they're not super aggressive. Like they're not like in your face and stuff like that. Courtney, obviously, for whatever reason, people like to snarl at her, like, "Argh," like whatever. I
appreciate it though. Give me your best snarls. I love it.
They make the same noise. I don't know how you do this to people, but they literally all make the same noise. It's like this kind of thing.
It's true. I have never been able to determine if that's an outward noise or an inward noise. I try to ask them sometimes, and they just growl even more. But I dig it. I'm impressed. I'm going to learn it someday. I'm going to do it really well. Do it to children.
Neat. Now, at one point in this house, and once again, it was really fun. They're both really fun. This is definitely worth the trip. At one point, I turned around because I think I was in the back at some point, and I turned around. There was this guy with like a white face on, and it was a guy. And have you guys ever seen like the movie The Grudge or Ju-on?
Yeah.
You know the little boy. Like the little boy guy who was creepy as hell. Yeah, he was like, and this was probably the actual scariest thing. Imagine that little boy growing up, same hair, same face, same everything, and he's like slowly stalking behind us, and I'm like, I'm about ready to like run. Like this is not cool, because that movie actually has some really creepy stuff going on in it. And that I remember that specifically. I remember going through. They had like a kind of like a steampunk machinery, wiring type dude guy at some point. Where they had this like roll. You guys remember like the little the spinning wheel of meat thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there were things like hanging down. They both had the same, like, I don't say the same theme, but they both had like a recurring type theme of like boats and underwater and stuff. And then the other scary part that I remember of the second one was the puppet room.
Oh yeah, there was
Like,
a really puppet rooms get to me.
Puppets are scary.
They really are. They really are. Yeah.
And
That's always disturbing. When we
it's
walked in there, I remember you were in front of us at that point, and we just heard you go, "Oh no, really?" And we didn't know what was coming. And then I was like, "Oh God, it's puppet."
It is like a room like from top to bottom filled with marionettes, puppets, man. And they had like and it's like small puppets, big puppets, like everything. And they also had one of the characters in there was kind of like I'm doing a puppet thing or whatever. It was weird because like some of the characters were really good, and I think those are the ones that work there. And I believe, and I could be wrong on this, but I think some of the characters were like part of that tour thing, and maybe they didn't really know what they were doing. So some people were just kind of like there and creepy and stuff, which was fine. Which was fine.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was that or if it was just that they wanted some people there just to be part of the story and less in your face. But what we didn't mention with Ghost Ship, one of my favorite parts was that at some point in the house they learned my name.
Oh, and, yes. Courtney's coming.
I forgot to mention this. But it was spread throughout the entire house. They would just yell to the next room, Courtney's coming. And so everybody would like, hey, Courtney, oh, she's a redhead. And they would, so everyone in the house knew. Everyone.
Yeah, Courtney's coming.
Well,
Courtney's coming. We heard that 100 times.
The guy asked what your name was, and I was like, this is Courtney.
That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Don't ever tell them your name.
Don't blow kisses at people, and don't give them your name.
Especially not the bearded clowns.
Yes.
No.
All right. So there was a chainsaw guy right at the end. A very aggressive running chainsaw guy. I will admit, the fake chainsaws don't scare me unless somebody's running at you at full speed. At that point, your brain can't decipher that it's a fake chainsaw, and you're like, oh god, this guy's just a crazy lunatic escaped from an asylum. He's gonna murder me in a house, and nobody's gonna care because everybody's gonna think it's an effect. All of that occurred to me in like a span of like a 0.5 seconds. So sorry. I know that was oddly specific, but yes, that's what happened.
Very specific.
So we're about halfway through the episode. Now a couple things about a petrified forest because we're gonna move on to the next one. I think it's worth the trip. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. What do you guys think?
Thumbs up.
If you've got money and time to spare, yes, I think it's worth seeing. But just make sure you have time for it, because it is one of those where if you get there at the wrong time and it's busy and there's long lines, you don't know how long it's going to be before your color gets turned. And if you're not right there to get in line when it becomes your color, a whole wave of people are there waiting too. So make sure you have plenty of time just in case anything goes wrong.
Now, we were on a schedule.
Go to the bathroom beforehand, wear tennis shoes, wear pants. Don't tell them your name. There you go.
Cool.
And speaking of the money thing, bring cash. And this absolutely bugs me about some haunts.
You should bring cash.
All right, it's okay, guys. It's 2015. All right, I can get an iPad scanner and I can get money right on my phone if I wanted to. It's 2015, guys. Take credit cards. There have been a couple places I've been wanting to buy a shirt. I wanted to buy a shirt at Petrified Forest. I'm like, oh, well, we only take cash. And they're like, oh, okay. Do you have an ATM? And I look at the ATM to our left, and there's a line for the ATM, and I'm like, we gotta go. I'm like, we had to be to Kissimmee to get in the house before 11 when it closed. So bring cash, wear shoes, show up early. I think it worked out pretty well that we did Ghost Ship first, so you may want to consider that. It worked out pretty well for us. It's definitely worth the drive if you want to maybe do like a kind of like a low impact kind of haunt. It was a pretty good time. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a thumbs up. So
yeah, and I definitely think it was, like you said, low impact. It was a little lower on the scary scale. So if you wanted to start out your season with this one, maybe
more family friendly.
Yeah, or if
definitely.
you have friends that aren't too into it but want to do like a fun Halloween night, just that's a good idea, I think.
Yep. All right, so then we moved on, and from this point we left here, and we thought we were running late. But then we went to a Haunting at Old Town, or Legends of Haunting at Old Town, which is in the strip shopping center of Kissimmee at Old Town. And I've actually done this one before, and it's been a while. I think it's been like the better part of 2 years since I've done it. Now, with the Haunting at Old Town, the first thing that comes to mind is this is not a seasonal haunt. It's not. It is actually open up year-round. It's usually open up on, I think, Fridays and Saturdays, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They also offer a ghost tour, which is, I think, like a lights-on tour of the place, and some other things.
90 minutes, yeah.
I'm actually gonna try to do that at some point soon, so I might have a report on that coming up during the week. I had so much fun the first time I did it. Like I didn't go with anybody else. I actually went alone and did this by myself.
Oh.
And I had a
Wow.
lot of fun. Now, one of the problems arise, and I don't want to say it's a problem, but one thing that we kind of were affected with is like right as we got in line, or right as we were getting tickets and working that out, it was like the short bus of dude bros got off in front of us. Like it was like an echo of
Nowhere, a
"Do you
massive
even
wave.
lift?" Yeah, it was like this. I have no idea, but they're all drinking. They're all like
All
mad
of
at each
them.
other and fighting and stuff.
Very drunk.
Yeah, they're drama.
Knocking
they're
over
crying.
bottles and breaking them. Like it was really, really bad. Did you get a chance to
bad
ask?
timing.
Did you get a chance to ask Dan about that?
I did. I was talking earlier today with one of the co-owners of Legends, Dan Caro, and I asked him. I was like, "So what happens when you get dude bros like that, or you know, drunk people, rowdy people?" And especially especially because they, you know, like at Petrified Forest, you saw you only get 6 people in at a time. They tried to do that here. They tried to make it very small groups because it's an intimate haunt, and they tried to split up the dude bros because they had a huge group, and they were like, "All right, you guys wait. We're gonna let you go through first." But when they opened the door to let in the next group, all of them went together in one wave.
Streamed in.
All of them.
Oh.
They didn't listen to instructions from the second they got there, and I was like, "Oh gosh, this is a mess." But at the same time, I was really glad we didn't have to go through with any of them.
Sitting in line
Definitely.
with them, I wanted to murder all of them.
But so I asked Dan today, and I was like, what do you do? And he said, surprisingly, they actually don't have problems with that often. He said he couldn't even remember the last time one of their actors got hit, which I think is really good. I don't know if that's because it's the setup of the place or if people just typically don't get as drunk when they go. But he said that group that night was a little bit of a problem. I'm sure they were just a little rowdy, but he said typically they don't have any issues with that. So he didn't really, he said they don't really have like a specific procedure, but they try to be as nice as possible if they ever do have to ask guests, behave or to leave or anything like that.
I would have paid money to see like the video footage of them going through the house. Just a bunch of dudes.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they were terrified, it would be hilarious. But
I
if
think
they were
it
just
would be. They didn't
goofing off, I
strike
don't
me
think
as
so.
the haunt going type.
No, I think none of
Definitely
them
not,
really knew what they were. Some of them were just looking at their ticket, like, where are we?
Like, oh my god! Like, are we at a Third Eye Blind concert? Like, I don't know.
Wow.
So now, Haunting in Old Town is neat. It's actually really cost effective. It's like $15, and it is long. I mean, the whole experience it felt like it was 20 plus minutes. I mean, it just went on and on and on, which is really, really cool. Finally, I mean, we waited for, it seemed maybe 20, 30 minutes to get in. I mean, it's a Saturday night in Old Town. This is the actual picture here, but it is in a strip mall of shopping, and it's both sides. And
Really weird spot for
and it sticks out. It's really, really cool. And apparently it took over for an older haunt, which I was reading about a little bit earlier, the Grimm
from
House.
the early 90s. Yeah, the Haunted Grimm House. And that closed in 2012. And then these 3 new owners built it up, and they basically built it from scratch. They really, they I think where their gift shop is now used to be a magic shop and used to be the entrance to the house, but now it's the exit. So they really move things around. It's not recognizable. And Jim, one of the owners, used to work at a mortuary. So he wanted to have a haunt that basically was a haunted mortuary. He really wanted to do that. And he had a degree in interior art and design. So when you go in this thing, it feels more like a house. It feels more like you are in a mortuary and less like a haunt set that was built temporarily for October. So I think that was one of the neatest aspects of it.
Yeah, it feels I know it's kind of weird to say a haunt, but it feels like lived in. Like it feels like nothing. It just works. It just really, really works.
Yeah, you have someone bring you in that tells you the entire legend, and I think it was his great grandfather or his uncle or someone that used to be the owner, and he tells you the story.
Ashdown.
All right, and you really feel like this guy probably lives here. His family probably lived here. Like
Definitely, he definitely lived there.
definitely.
Yeah, he definitely.
Some other
definitely
weird things
belonged.
went down.
So this is the animatronic Archibald Ashdown, who's in the gift shop. So he every once in a while kind of comes to life and talks a little bit to you. Strangely enough, his descendant is the one that actually greeted us into the house. And did he actually give like his character name? Because we kind of cut him off. Courtney's like, "Are you Dan?"
I just wanted to be like,
He's
"Hi."
like, "What?" So,
but he is the guy. They use his face for all the art and everything, and for the story. And then when you walk in, there's a huge painting of his ancestor that the story is about. So it's so believable because you're like, wow,
yeah, definitely,
it's this guy. Like,
man, damn the man.
Damn the man.
When we started talking to him, because we gave him the tickets and everything, and we went in. He's such. I love his wit. Like he has that like
on the spot.
that like sharp like wit, and it's like the banter back and forth. Like he made a crack about like some kind of like, oh, it's Undertaker humor or something like that. And off the top of my head, I'm like, well, is that above or below Gallows humor? And he like had to answer it like right on the spot, which was really cool. I was thinking like Undertaker humor would be underneath Gallows humor. Like that's what I was thinking. But he's like, no, he's like Undertaker humor. And then Gallows humor, and then toilet humor. And it was like the funniest thing. It was really, really cool.
He's fantastic. I want to have conversations just with him in character for all night long. We could just have a sit and chat with him. Can that be part of the
maybe
show?
At some point, maybe we can like do the tour on like an off night or something like that. And I don't know if he does it or if somebody else does it, but it would be really cool just to interact with him in character because. That was probably the most fun I've actually had interacting with a character before.
Yeah,
in the thing, it was really, really cool, and he's got the whole like Undertaker get up and everything. He's wearing the jacket that you see here. It was really, really neat.
Yeah, and when I spoke to him earlier today, actually, sorry to cut you off, but he was telling me that they really wanted this to be personalized. So we got there on a very busy night. Like they had a huge line, and even though they closed at 11, I don't think they got through everyone until after 1 o'clock. But usually on less busy nights, he said that when he gets you in that first room, if he learns anything about you, if he knows your name or something that you're afraid of, they'll spread it to the actors upstairs, and they will do whatever they can. He said there's even a whiteboard, and if they can get someone up there fast enough, they'll write like you're gonna die and your name, or they'll even draw you if they have time. And just make it as personalized as possible. So I think that is like the coolest thing. I haven't seen any other haunts that do that. And if people, I already said I don't like when they know my name. So if there was a picture of me there before I even got upstairs, there is now. Yeah, that's freaky.
Yeah, that was really cool. Now when I went previously, it was not a busy night. Like I just kind of walked in, and there happened to be another like group of like little teeny bopper kids that I just kind of tagged along with, but. It was really cool, and I think, and I could be wrong here, but I was waiting for the Dude Bros to come out. I think that we walked in, they put you right in the queue as the other group's coming out, because you're in the house for a long time, and you feel like you got the whole place to yourself. Yeah. It's definitely it's not anything like, like we've done. You have pretty much the whole haunt to yourself. At least it feels like that. And,
you could see that when we were waiting in line and we could see the exit. You'd see a group come and then there'd be no one, and then another group. There were no chance of us running into anyone else while we were inside the house.
Yeah. So they bring you through the little pre-queue and introductions, whatever. They have like an animated video, which is really, really cool. Really, really solid. Yeah. I was really, really cool. They have some neat kind of like he uses lots of like puns, like pun type humor, which is great. All Undertaker like haunt zombie stuff, which is really, really cool. And then you start the actual, after you get through like the pre-show stuff. You start the haunt, and it's kind of a self-guided, self-paced kind of thing. You don't have somebody leading you through. You actually have people scaring the shit out of you through the house. So it's pretty interesting. Sorry, I'll beat that out after.
Family show.
Yeah.
PG.
The S out of people. But it was pretty cool. And I have to tell you, this is the one thing, hands down, that I love about Haunting at Old Town more than I like that anything else at any other haunt, is it's quiet. Yes. You don't get that anywhere else. Anywhere else. Because there's always like a chainsaw going off somewhere, or somebody screaming or beeping or honking, or some sound effect going off somewhere. This is the only haunt that I've ever been in where it is quiet. You can't hear anything. I love it. That is my favorite thing of this haunt, besides the fact that it's open year round, which is amazing because you could do this in like Christmas.
Can we get an annual pass to this?
Oh my god!
Can we go anytime we want?
Please make an annual pass. I will buy it.
Dan, actually, can I just like rent a room? I need somewhere to live down there. That'd be great.
That's really
basement.
Kind of interesting.
No,
like one of the
right
scenes in the house is walking through your bedroom.
it's so dirty. It would be terrifying.
You have to wear like sneakers.
Oh my god.
So it was really, really cool. Now, Hannah, I know you're being a little bit quiet there. What did you think of this?
I was really impressed that it had so much machinery and it was really loud, but you couldn't hear it as you moved through the house. Like I was really impressed at the silence, definitely. And just the things that would attack you. And
Yes.
I think there were some that I couldn't tell if they were person or machine, which was really cool too.
Yeah,
They had a lot of like animatronic stuff. Yeah, like doors that coffins that you would walk by, and all of a sudden they pop open and something's flinging towards you. There were some parts that I would just run past because I knew something was going to come out and I didn't want it, because they had a lot. And that's even, I think, the final scare in the house. You see people running out was from a big thing that sort of lunges at you. They were everywhere. Yeah,
it's you know, in the industry they use the term scare forward, like they try to push you forward with the scares. And when it start to get towards the end, I've never really had the sense like I'm under siege, you know, like things are just kind of coming out from everywhere, scaring you. But it really, when you get to like the finale of the event, which is, I don't want to spoil it because it's really cool. But you are really getting scared out of the house when it starts to get towards the end.
It got intense.
Yeah,
I mean, I was not expecting it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
God,
and you think like you're like, oh, this is a haunt that's open year round and it's $15. You know, it's like, you know, it's a strip mall. You're like, what? How good could this be? It's amazing. Like, it's really, really good. Yeah. Highly
really
recommend
it. They don't have a lot of actors. It's obvious that their actors sort of move along with you into different scenes. But that's really cool because they're not limited to one set. They're not pressing a button over and over to make the same scare happen. They are staying with you, and they can see your group and be like, oh, I got her. Let me try to get someone else in the front of the group. Yeah. And they would. We would even get past an actor, and I'd be like, all right, I'm safe. But then I'd turn around, and he'd be lunging at me from somewhere else.
That place has, like, crazy secret passages. Like in between.
Yeah, they get around. So you're not safe at any point. Even though it doesn't feel like there's a lot of people in there, you are never safe.
All right. So one of the comments that came in said they only actually have about 3 or 4 characters in the house, and it feels like 20.
No way.
Yeah. So that's crazy.
Wow.
Man, they
that's
really,
incredible.
Yeah. Props to everyone that works there.
So it is open year round. So you know, I definitely recommend it. I definitely want our viewers to go out and view and see it because it's totally worth it. Don't feel like you have to do it like this second because it's kind of caught up. It's caught up in the haunt season, you know. So it is going to be busy. It was pretty busy. That was like the busiest I've ever seen it. The few times that I've walked by it. We got they have like deals every once in a while, so look out for a guy. I think I was there once and he gave me a coupon, a couple bucks off. If you go to any cons at Halloween Extreme, they were there. They're always like super nice and really cool people. They have like discounts for that. I probably like a stack of coupons somewhere that I've never used. It was really, really, really neat. Thumbs up.
Yes, definitely thumbs up for that. And you know that I'm so excited now that I know how good it is and that it's open all year long because like we said in November we're going to be so sad, and like by the time we get to like March, I'm in desperate need of someone to just pop out at me. Like someone make me scream. So this will be I'm going to go back. Definitely. Maybe once a month for like just that little bit of haunt
your birthday.
feel.
Yeah, it has you definitely get that same tension, like that kind of like that quiet apprehension, like it's a feeling in the air you get. In this place like excels at it because you don't have any outside factor ruining the immersion. This is probably the best like immersion house that you're going to get in Central Florida because there's nothing outside of it that's going to interrupt you being focused on doing the event. So it's really cool. I actually ended up buying a shirt. You can kind of see them in the background here. So I loved it so much. I bought a shirt, and you know what? They took credit cards, so that's why I bought a shirt because they took credit cards. So this is $20, and no
21st century.
No, Ronnie, I didn't copy off you. So yeah, because he was wearing the shirt when we went to Hollow Scream. So
it's a good shirt.
It's a really, really cool shirt. They have a gift shop. They got little knickknacks here and there. I did take a couple other pictures here. Let's see. I took a picture of the warning. It's probably hard to see on the screen right now, but it's their typical "you could die in here" warning. You will experience intense audio, lighting, low visibility, strobe lights, moving floor, special effects, and sudden motions of a physically demanding environment. In a strip mall. You should not enter if you suffer from asthma, heart conditions, physical ailments, seizures, respiratory conditions, or any type of medical or mental condition, including claustrophobia or if you are pregnant. I will admit, at one point I did feel really boxed in the home. Like it felt like it was kind of closing in on me, which is really, really
and
neat.
there you go up in the house and then you go down, and it feels like you're going into some cellar that you might not ever make it out of. So definitely, if you are claustrophobic,
it goes on and on and on. And you go through like a funeral with a guy playing an organ, this big, probably the biggest huge room. You go through like a grave. You go through like this graveyard. You go through like a office. You go through like a autopsy table. I keep calling them autopsy tables, like where they set up bodies to prepare them for funerals.
Yeah, they even have a cremation scene.
And they have a cremation scene.
Oh, they do. That was incredible.
Yeah, it was really,
I was
really
not
cool.
expecting it.
And I mean, the place that was here before this just closed in 2012. So I would love to see this place. I don't know if they could expand because it's where they're located in that strip mall. But, you know, if in future years, maybe they'll shut it down for like a month and change one of the rooms, or, you know, I don't know. I'm interested to see what they'll do if it sticks around for a while.
I hope it does. I mean, I can't imagine the overhead's crazy on it. They own all the, animatronics and stuff. And I will admit, probably some of the best use of the animatronics, like they're, like every once in a while I'll see a video at like a convention or something, it has like a ghost that gets up and like flies at you or something like that. They had some of those in the house, so you get to experience some of those, which are really, really neat. It's really, really cool.
Lots of cool effects, for sure.
Anything else? Archibald. Stuff of Legends, that's the actual gift shop. I believe that is open throughout the week. They have the specific hours on the website. I definitely want to do this ghost tour. I'm like really pumped about doing that, and I want to do this again. So this is high on my list to repeat. And it looks just cool. I mean, this is one of the coolest facades of looking at the outside of a house ever. So
yeah, you can't miss it. I had never been to Old Town before, and Hannah and I got out of the car. We drove separately from Johnny, so I was like, I don't know if we're gonna be able to find it. And as soon as we saw it, I was like, that is it.
That is it.
Because it's a big movie banner, and you're like, oh, whoa. You feel like there should be lightning coming down.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it's gothic and
raining.
Awesome.
Right over that one spot.
Thunder.
Yeah.
They have like a little graveyard outside. Like one of the walkways has like a graveyard right across from this, which is really cool.
I don't think it was part of Legends, though. Just all of Old Town was decorated for Halloween.
Well,
with
that graveyard's there year round, though.
Oh, I didn't realize.
And it's right across from Old Town, or right across from this. So I think it is part of that. They also have some random kind of like characters running around. Yeah. I don't know if they do. They do have a completely unrelated Halloween thing going on at Old Town. It's nothing to do with this. But they had a couple people that I suspect are related to this thing somehow. Like when I went,
I don't know. I think it was all part of just the Old Town random stuff.
I don't know. Maybe we can get some clarification on that. But there was the reason I say that is because when I went the first time, there was a guy kind of walking around, and he looked in similar dress, and he had like coupons. So yeah, it was really, really neat.
It was fun though. It added to like just the atmosphere of being there because Thriller was playing. They had Halloween music the whole time, and So I really liked it. I thought it was a cute little area. It would be a fun like date night.
Old Town is neat. They have a fun spot, and they got like all kinds of like little rides and stuff. It's very kind of small town America kind of thing. Like they have a classic car like drive or like a cruise or whatever. Lots of places to eat, bars like crazy, obviously, because everybody was drunk. It was pretty interesting. Comment coming in: they have Scarecrow out front all the time. So maybe I was right.
Cool.
All right.
So I will admit I'm not gonna I try not to rank haunts. I think I had a little bit more fun at the Legends Haunting in Old Town than I did at Petrified Forest. I think it was just because Haunting in Old Town's been around a little while, and it feels like a little bit more. I hate to use the term polished, but it felt like a better bang for the buck, I think if Petrified Forest had some sort of express option, or just if the lines had been easier for me to understand and something else to do while we were waiting, and just, I don't like the nature. I don't like the ones outside where I got to walk through the dirt. So Legends was great for me because I felt like I was in a beautiful manor. And so it was at the top of my list, I'd say. It was really cool. Like I said, my favorite thing is it's so quiet. It's so it's so peaceful and amazing.
Yeah.
So
And
now I want to do it
fluid.
again. Now
It's
that
got
we're
good
talking
flow.
about it, I want to like get out of my car and go kick the door down. But it's only Tuesday and they're not open, so I'd probably get arrested. So
Sorry,
you didn't hear that, Dan.
More night.
Yeah. So so it's 8:55 and we're running a little bit low on the showtime. Now, I don't think we've decided exactly what we're going to accomplish this weekend because I know, unfortunately, this is going to be Courtney's last haunt weekend.
It is. I know.
Florida.
I'm missing Halloween weekend. I'm going to be going to several haunts, but I'm actually going to be up north with Hannah. We're going to be in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. So we're going to go to some of the haunts in the Northeast, which is going to be really cool. We're going to go to Salem. We're going to see sets from Hocus Pocus. We're going to dress as witches.
Why don't you,
So it's going to be amazing.
When you guys go, just take a million pictures and maybe we can talk a little bit. I know it's kind of
Tons
out
of
of our
photos.
coverage area, but we can maybe talk about that.
And we've talked about in future seasons, if we keep this up, if you guys want it, maybe doing some road trips.
Mhm.
We'll go to Netherworld. We'll go to, some other haunts on the East Coast. I'd love to go back to some in Virginia. So yeah, I would love to talk a little bit about the ones we get to go to while we're up there because I think they're some of the top rated in the Northeast. So I'm really excited to see the differences and the scale of things up there. And it'll be cold, so it'll feel great.
No,
We'll have the
I'm
chill
good with
in
cold.
there.
It just went down about 10 degrees here, and it's been amazing. Like it's been like at this time it's like 70 degrees out or so. So it's kind of. I wish it would have happened a little bit earlier in the season because haunts are kind of. It takes something away from haunts when it's like hot outside. Like haunts go with fall and cold, not hot and sweaty.
Yeah, it's hard to
so-
like embrace the full Halloween season feel when you're sweating and
and
wear
it's
sweaters.
Florida, so
You
it's
can't drink
either-
your pumpkin spice because it's too warm out, So
That was like the most white girl thing I think I've ever heard anybody say.
I was gonna say
we
that.
had
but I was
Chipotle
being
for
nice.
dinner too.
We did have Chipotle.
Wow.
Yeah, but so this is my final weekend here in Central Florida. I'm gonna try to do horror nights Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. But Saturday night is sort of up in the air. We have an opportunity to go to back to Busch Gardens, which I'd really like to do on hopefully it wouldn't be raining and it's later in the season, so I'd like to see it again. But I know we'd love to do Shallow Grave again. We really wanted a chance to do Vault of Souls, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. So
Hold
next
on,
episode,
hold on. Let me pull up my bank account real quick.
Will you tell me that's basically what determines? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you really pulling up the bank account?
No, I'm simulating that. Basically, I've spent a lot of money on this season, and it's getting towards the end. Not that I don't want to spend more money to have more fun at whatever. Now, one of the ones, and this is kind of what we would probably, unfortunately this year, I don't think we're going to be able to do Vault of Souls. That is one that we was kind of high on our list in the beginning of the season, but man, at this point, it's just $100 is just it's rough, and there's like part of me is just like, it's not that I'm broke or anything. It's just like, even I hit like my mental financial like brick wall, and I'm like,
It's hard to justify.
so I mean, we might end up pushing that one off till maybe next season, and we'll try to prioritize it next year. It's just, that's rough. So
I'm just so impressed with you guys for doing this like the entire month long. Like even before October, you were doing it in September, and that's crazy. But it's incredible. You're doing a wonderful job.
Well,
Thank you.
we also want to kill each other every once in a while. So
we do, but we need to hear that because my energy level has just gone. It keeps going down, and we've got 2 weeks left, and I'm gonna try to.
Yeah,
you got it.
Yeah, we're kind of in the home stretch here, and Courtney and I have been friends for a while now, but we've never ever spent this much time together before, and
Both of us collide.
So
yeah, we're gonna need to go have a spa day afterwards and just sit in silence with some zen
spa day.
music and
I
let out
want you to have a
insecurities.
spa day so I can just be away from you for a while. I'm just messing
Buy me
with
a
you.
spa day.
Hey,
No. All right.
he can pay for it. He can pay for
okay.
it.
I'm not even going
I
to
want to
go
go too.
I am not going to go into what Courtney's gotten for free this year because it really hurts my soul, and I don't have one because I'm a
have
ginger.
a job, and
Okay.
I'm not.
All right,
and
all
not
right, fair
prepared.
enough. I have a job, so I'm obligated to
very-
spend money. Awesome. Okay. All right, so it's 8:59. We're gonna wrap this up. Next week, we haven't really decided on what we're gonna talk about. I think we're gonna talk. We're probably gonna do kind of a recap, I think, because the last actual episode that we have, because we only really have 2 left, we're going to kind of do a little bit of a recap of everything, especially if we get a chance to do Howl Scream again. That'll be the episode on the 27th. Unfortunately, this is going to be Courtney's last week here in Central Florida to do these haunts. We have a suspicion that there's going to be some sort of event going on at Horror Nights at the end. So we'll probably end up closing out the season. Our actual season finale is going to be the 3rd. We'll probably end up talking at that point, or at least I'll make sure, she gets to, see all the pictures and stuff that I take, because we're really, really into that, the Legendary True stuff, if that comes back. And then the Drunk Edition is the absolute kind of bonus episode. That is going to be on Friday the 6th. So at this point, we only have 3 episodes left. So this was episode 7. I can't even believe we made it this far. But I say that every week, like it's all just going to fall apart.
It's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. So it's 9:01 right now. I'm going to go ahead and roll credits. Petrified Forest, Haunting an Old Town. Thank you guys for having us. If you're watching,
thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hannah, thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, for being on.
Thank you for
coming
being
with us.
the 3rd person here. I appreciate that. Hannah lives with Courtney,
Thank
they can do their own little post game now. But thank you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and roll credits now. So go ahead and
Goodbye.
bye. Happy haunting.
Happy
That's
haunting.
my saying. You took
it's
my
like
face for the
spooky
2nd week in a row. Oh
Hannah
my
needs one.
goodness.
Make up one. Make up a catchphrase right now, Hannah.
Boo!
You heard it here, people.
Wow.
Boo.
Excellent.
Choo choo. Okay.
All right. Have a good night.